Good evening. It is time for today's tax talk. I am your host. I'm attorney Stephen Leahy. It is Monday, July 25th, the year of our Lord 2022. And, for several weeks now, a couple weeks ago, we talked about Elizabeth Warren and her plans to expand the IRS. One of the things that she wants to do is have the IRS prepare your tax returns for you. That's what we're going to talk about today. Won't you join us? Well, again, whenever there's this old saying, right? If you want something to really be expensive, give it away for free, right? There is no such thing as a free government program. It always costs more than if you did it without the government. That's just the fact. It always happens that way. And it's no different with tax returns. Well, you might not have to pay for the tax returns. You'll never pay more than if the government did it for you, right? Not only with the increased taxes, because they're not going to give you all. They don't have a vested interest in finding you every deduction that you're entitled to, right? They'd be just like, here it is, pay. And of course, that's what they want, right? They want to just say, here, this is how much money you made. Let's just do an easy boom, boom. That's what you got to pay. And if many times it's also for people who don't pay, right, to get their child tax credit. And that's a big part of Elizabeth Warren's motivation, right? A lot of people who have child tax credits, they don't file their tax return, so they don't get the money. So Elizabeth Warren wants to do the tax returns for them, give them the money. And so that, again, it's a plan. They're still beating on this Build Back Better plan, to increase the amount of money that the IRS has and then increase all of their responsibilities. Well, again, they can't answer the phone. They have a backlog, and we're going to give more information, more responsibilities, I should say. No, I don't think so. But let's go through the stories, and we'll see what that is, okay? Let's go. The first story is a CNBC story. Let me get to the top there. Okay. So let's go to the story. Uh-oh. Hey, that's a nice picture, isn't it? That's a nice picture. Okay, so here it is. Democrats are pushing for a free IRS tax filing service. Tax pros worry it's an administrative nightmare. Again, I think it is an administrative nightmare, but that's not the reason you should oppose it. You should oppose it because the government's going to do your tax returns. It'll be free. Again, nothing costs more than when the government gives some things away for free. So these are the highlights, but we'll get to them into the story. Senator Elizabeth Warren, along with 22 more Democratic lawmakers, want to save millions of Americans time and money by pushing the IRS to create its own free tax filing service. And some people might be thinking, but Attorney Leahy, are you against it because they'll be taking your business away from you? The answer is no, they won't be taking my business. People that I help people who are in business for themselves. The IRS isn't going to do their tax returns for them, right? And the people that they're talking about, they're never going to use my service to do their tax returns. So it doesn't matter to me one way or another. It's not about my own money. It's just ridiculous in my opinion. But some tax professionals say it's not a realistic plan for the overburdened agency. You think? I'd love to be proven wrong, but I fear an administrative nightmare, said an enrolled agent from New York. The Senate bill known as the Tax Filing Simplification Act. The tax filing simplification. If the government does it, you think it'd be simple? You think it's simplification? I love the way they come up with these numbers, these names. I mean, it's like, well, how could you be against the Tax Filing Simplification Act, Attorney Leahy? Well, how could you? It doesn't make any sense. Anyway, it directs the IRS to create a free online service, it's free, allowing Americans to file taxes directly with the agency. Who else do we file taxes with? the representatives from California are introducing companion legislation in the House. The current IRS, now get this now, the current IRS Free File program is a public-private alliance with the Free File Alliance, a nonprofit coalition composed of tax software companies. That's their business, is to create tax software. The IRS wants to have their own, create their own tax. It's already made. Why would they have to make their own? Of course, that's proprietary information. They have to start it from scratch. And there's nothing worse than the government starting websites and software, right? They're software providers. Although free file users start at the IRS site, they are redirected to third-party providers to complete their returns. Although roughly 70% of Americans are eligible for IRS free file, only 3% of the taxpayers used the service during the 2020 tax season, according to the U.S. Government Accountability Office. Free File has been pleased to provide over $2 billion of free federal returns to tens of millions of American taxpayers. And in response to a recent survey, 98% of those who use the product would use it again, a spokesman for Free File Alliance said. The bill also aims to allow eligible taxpayers to choose a return-free option, providing pre-populated filings with the tax bill or refund already calculated. The average American spends 13 hours and $240 every year to file their taxes. That's too much time and too much money. The people that she's talking about don't spend 13 hours doing their tax returns. They don't spend $240 to do their tax returns. But we just showed that there's a free file option, and only 3% of the people are using it. Maybe we should get the word out that there is already an option out there. It may be possible to automate nearly half of all returns with information the agency already has. And of course, that's the whole key here, right? They have the information. They keep getting more and more information. They want to track everything you're doing always. Tax pros, IRS can't handle another to-do right now. And that's probably true too. While tax experts applaud the desire to simplify the tax filing system, many are skeptical about the Democrats' latest approach. I'm all for easy and effective free filing options for taxpayers. However, this law heaps additional requirements on an already overburdened IRS. That's true. The certified financial planner pointed out to burdens placed on the IRS through changing tax laws and added duties amid the pandemic. They do not need this additional to-do right now, he said. Let them work through the backlog, then have them try and implement the system. No, don't have them try to implement the system. They'll never catch up. They need more money. Then they can catch up, but they'll never catch up. The Taxpayer Advocate Service reported 21.3 million unprocessed paper returns as of May 31st, up from 20 million 1 year ago in the mid-year report to Congress. An IRS spokesman said in late June the numbers in the report were neither the most accurate nor the most recent figures. Well, they're using May numbers because that's what they had siphoned out, and so they have June numbers. Well, they're not the most accurate, but they're not the most recent. Well, I understand that doesn't make them wrong. Return-free filing may cause missed tax credits. Tax filers choosing to return. How many tax credits do you get as a taxpayer? Most people don't get any. Tax filers choosing to the return-free option may be subject to all sorts of potentially damning results. He said issues may include missing the earned income tax credit, errors calculating child tax credit, skipping the child dependent care credit, and more. The MBER report found fewer than half of tax returns could be accurately pre-populated, with errors more likely to occur as itemized deductions increased. That's true. Again, most people won't have that problem because it's not their tax returns are difficult. Still, despite these challenges, some experts see promise to the proposed legislation. I have advocated for this type of system for a long time. Most taxpayers don't need a tax professional to file their taxes because the cost of preparation and advice is more than they would save in taxes. That's true, that most people don't need this. Most people there's already a system in place. So what's the point? What are you trying to do? Give the IRS more responsibility, because then you can justify giving them more money, doubling their budget every year. but they don't need it. Most people don't need that. Here's another story here. Let me go to the top here. Democrat bill would mandate new IRS free filing program. I always like that when they mandate something, but they're giving it away for free. Why would they have to mandate it? It's free. It's like the COVID shot. It's free, but we're going to mandate. You got to take it. It's like this. It's free. You can get your tax bill, but you're going to have to take it. It's mandated. I don't know why they want to mandate everything. Senator Elizabeth Warren is leading fellow Democrats in a push for the IRS to create its own free filing tax services and move away from the current private partnership, whose services only a slim portion of taxpayers use. I don't know if that's pre-planned that way. When they redid the tax returns or the tax law in 2019, part of it was the 70%. We're going to be able to do like half a page tax return. Should take 5 minutes to fill out. And they keep complicating it more. So that's what the goal was, to do a half a page tax return. That would seem that you don't need anybody to do that, right? That would do it itself. Anyway, Senator Warren put forward a bill that would mandate IRS to create its own free online program for preparing and filing tax returns and expand taxpayers' access to their own tax-related data held by the agency. Why do you have to mandate that? Why don't you just make it available? The legislation would direct the IRS to create software that would allow any taxpayer to prepare and file their individual income tax return beginning in tax year 2023. The agency would also have to allow taxpayers with fairly straightforward returns, those who don't take any above-the-line deductions, itemize their deductions, or receive income as a sole proprietor of business, for instance, to elect that Treasury prepares that tax return beginning in 2023. Don't worry, we'll do it for you, and we'll send you the bill. It'll be the best bill. I swear it'll be the lowest. Isn't there kind of a conflict of interest there? The bill would require a program by March 1st, 2023, allowing taxpayers who don't have to file tax returns to claim refundable tax credits. That's really what she's about, I think. She just wants to make sure people that want to get free money from the government are going to get it. The provision aims to expand a sign-up tool for the child tax credit to non-filers who can access other tax benefits like the Earned Income Tax Credit, which is open to low-income workers. The measure would also bar the Treasury Secretary from entering into new agreements that would restrict the federal government's right to provide services or software for preparing and filing taxes. A fact sheet from the bill's sponsor points to problems with the IRS's free file program, which currently aims to offer free tax preparation to 70% of taxpayers by partnering with the private tax preparing firms. The lawmakers argued that the program is underused, often confuses taxpayers into paying for services, and fails to adequately protect taxpayer data. The IRS protects taxpayer data. Is that right? In the last 2 years, major online tax platforms, H&R Block and Intuit's TurboTax, withdrew from the program. Okay, they don't want to give it away. Makes sense. Only 2.8% of all individual tax returns filed in fiscal 2021 were submitted through the free file program, according to IRS data. The bill picked up co-sponsors since the last introduction in 2019. They won't let it go. 2019 was when they did the other tax bill. And it was supposed to be a half a page for these 70% of all taxpayers. And they just got more complicated as time went on. And that's only 3 years ago. And now has 22 Democratic senators signed on. Warren has sought to tie the issue to the Democrats' push for the budget reconciliation bill. She won't give up on that bill. Senate Majority Leader Schumer and Manchin are in talks to the hopes of agreeing to the package broadly, including pieces to lower prescription drug costs, incentivize clean energy production, and increase taxes on the wealthy and corporations. The latest Senate version of the legislation include about $80 billion over the decade, almost doubling the IRS's budget, and actually more than doubling the number of employees. Over the decade, IRS largely intended to boost its ability to go after uncollected taxes and raise federal revenue in the process. Don't worry, it won't cost anything. Remember Joe Biden telling us that. Oh, the Build Back Better, it's $80 billion, but it won't really cost you anything. It also included $15 million for the IRS to study the feasibility of creating a free direct online tax return system. How much do you think we need to explore that? $15 million. We'll just look into it. How much will it cost? $15 million. Unbelievable. When Treasury Secretary Yellen appeared before the Finance Committee in June, I aired that video here on this show. Warren pressed her for a commitment to the IRS to go farther and build its own free filing system if Congress delivers the $80 billion cash infusion. Yellen pointed to more pressing priorities like working through the massive backlog of tax returns, but agreed the IRS would take up the issue when it's adequately sourced. If you give us $80 billion, we'll make sure that happens. Unbelievable. There's another story here, but I'm not going to get into that other story. It's kind of doesn't make any sense to me. I don't get it. So I really don't get it. Well, they just spent again. There's nothing more expensive than when the government gives something away for free. You don't see it you won't have to come out of your pocket. It'll come out of everybody's pocket. But overall, it'll cost more. They complain about what it costs now to do tax returns. It'll cost more if the government did it, not less. We know that from experience, right? Can you point to any government agency who says, "Oh no, we have enough money. We don't need any more money"? Every government agency wants more money, and they get it. They get more money. That's what kind of put us in this what we're in. This morose that we're in right now. So thanks so much for joining us. I wanted to remind you that we need your help and so we need you to get the word out and like and subscribe. Like and subscribe. What happened there? Like and subscribe. Uh-oh. Who knows what's going on with this thing? Oh, I know what I did. Okay, like and subscribe. Hit the wrong button. It's the user. So anyway, we need you to get this in to help us get this information out. We're going to ask you to like and subscribe. Remember, almost all news is tax news, and you're going to get that tax news here first, and then you'll find it other places. So thanks so much for joining us. Remember, if you owe the IRS money, you know you owe the IRS money, right? If you haven't filed your tax returns, you know you haven't filed your tax returns. And a lot of times when people come to see me, they haven't filed their tax returns, and sometimes it's because they don't know where to start, what to do. Well, here's the first thing you should do if you owe the IRS money or if you have unfiled tax returns. Get a copy of my book, Deal with Your IRS Problem Today. Go to freeirsbook.com, freeirsbook.com. That's freeirsbook.com. Get your free copy of Deal with Your IRS Problem Today. We will ask for a small shipping and handling charge, but you get the book for free and all of the bonuses that go along with it. So go to freeirsbook.com, get your copy. So thanks so much for joining us. It's always a pleasure. Tomorrow is Crypto Tuesday, so we're going to talk about crypto. We're going to talk still in the news, blockchain, all that good stuff. So I hope you can join us here tomorrow. In the meantime, again, thanks so much for joining us, and we'll see you here back tomorrow.